for anybody? I call the May 12th, 2026 meeting of the Park Board to order. Consider a motion for approval of the minutes from March 24th, 2026 Park Board meeting. Do we have a motion to approve these minutes?
A motion to approve.
We have a first. Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. First item on the agenda is old. First item on the agenda is discussion of farmers market area and other budgeting projects.
Yeah, so in this year's budget, we're just going to probably touch a little bit on everything and give an update on what we've been working on. But in this capital outlay for 2026, we have the shade structures at the playgrounds, the sidewalks, areas in Webb Park, that's 19th and Oak Ridge, and then over at Frick Park, which would extend along 12th Street into the parking lot area at Frick Park. We have the HVAC system replacement at the animal control shelter. And then we have the farmers market design work. So starting off with the shade structures, I hope to have that before you in June. So you guys will hear from 3 different companies or scopes from 3 different companies. They'll all be cooperative purchases. So either one of those 3 you can select, and that's what we can recommend to the board. Similar to the shade structures that we put at the pool, that was a cooperative purchase agreement. The only difference in this situation, we went ahead and reached out to a couple other companies to get, maybe they'll have some designs that you like better or something like that. So they have all been asked the same thing, and we'll see what we get together on the June meeting. Obviously, you'll be able to change color, pick colors and do that kind of stuff, but the design and locations you'll be able to see and review.
Do the ones out at the pool right now work pretty well for shade?
So the pool's interesting because the ones we added work better than the ones that came with when it was constructed. There's people that never have enough shade, and then there's people that always want more sun. So it's like you can never get the perfect, and everybody rushes there early, get the loungers, and they get under the shade, and they really shade their belongings, and then they swim. So it's kind of it's a tough battle. But next item is the sidewalks. They're coming along. I've got more work to do at the one we started in Webb Park. Hopefully by the end of next week, the contractor will show up to do the concrete work. There's a slope issue along Oak Ridge. It's too much of a grade, so we're going to have to come up with a solution to make it more level to match code. In addition, on the east side as you're going up 19th Street from that corner, the east side, the cutout that was put in, or whoever originally put in the curb, I believe that's too small, so we might have to cut that, widen that ramp. So there's more work there than we didn't anticipate. Once that's moves along, we'll get to Frick and get started on that. Frick will be much easier. It's literally pull the soil away, form it up, and they can come in and pour. The HVAC system at the animal control shelter, it's a very complicated system, and it's, to say the least, we're going to copy but upgrade the equipment. So to change, if you can imagine, the air conditioner's on the 2nd floor, so it has to push the cold air all the way down. To reverse that, which is how most houses and most situations, you're letting the cool air come up from below, and as well as the heat. But this system's so complicated that the best thing to do is just to improve as best we can, put in newer equipment, and it should facilitate as best as possible. The facility's gone through 3 or 4 transformations from originally ambulance facilities, what it was originally built for. Then it became Jackson County Sheriff's little area that they would have a kind of remote site. Became the park office there for a while. So it's constantly just kind of been multi-purposed. So now it's working very well as an animal shelter, and for Mark Sherwood, we just had to get the AC to where it's reliable. The farmer's market, I spoke again with the engineer that's doing the survey work today. I thought I was going to have the information last week. He told me today that they've had to correct a few things. They found some additional information. Should be in my hands by the end of Friday, if not sooner, which then I'll be able to take that information to an architect to do some renderings, so you guys can see the layout, see if that's what you like, and then make a recommendation to the Board of Aldermen. So we're getting close on the farmer's market. It's just some of the problem has been in, the survey crews have been pretty busy, and getting them out for such a small job, and then the railroad, since the railroad right there, it's taken a while for the railroad to get back with things, and we should have everything in place soon. Pool loungers, I have not ordered the pool loungers yet, that's on this as well. Every startup of the year for the pool, things come up that are hidden surprises, like one year we had the pump that didn't work and we had to get the emergency repair done on that. So once we're up and running and feel comfortable, then we'll look at ordering some lounges based on funds available. We did have some lounges that got damaged in the storm, actually broke a cable, did some damage to lifeguard stands from strong winds. So we'll do those repairs. The loungers that were broken obviously have been removed and thrown away, so just typical. Speaking of the pool, this is the time to get the pool ready. We have to have it ready. Next week is when training starts. So it's everything we can do to get things going. Lifeguard training starts. We still train in-house, certify in-house, and then we hire based on the numbers who pass. We have a good pool of returners, and then we're going to add to the list with new guards. It's somewhere around 50 kids is what it takes. They're not all working at once, but you know, with kids, they all want off at the same time, so it takes quite a bit to make it work. It's typically about 10 personnel a day to run the pool. The T-ball fields, as if you guys looked at the T-ball fields, so that's come along. The pathway and the bridge is complete. However, we're putting up some fences on the wings where the concrete pad is approaching the bridge, so it's safer because it's kind of a drop-off. We got 4 poles done today. We can put the fence up on that tomorrow, and then tomorrow we'll also drill for the other 4 poles, and we'll get that up a couple days later. So should be up by the end of the week. We'll have those wings up. We've gotten a lot of compliments on the fence on the T-ball fields and the layout and that extra pathway up, walkway. It actually gets used quite a bit for people walking. They'll walk the asphalt and then they'll go to the gravel and then they go back to the new trail. And so we're seeing a lot of activity.
Yeah, I think it turned out really nice.
Does anybody have any questions about any of the budget items for this year? Next year, we start talking about it October for next year's budget. So got plenty of time to think about for the upcoming year. So this was just to get everybody kind of reminded what we're working on now, and then we'll stick with the master plan, keep working on it, and move forward.
Has there been any talks or thoughts or consideration about making any of the baseball fields at Webb Park turf on the inside at least, or on the outside, or anything
So
like that?
the superintendent had reached out to me and talked to me about it, and I said that the funding's just not there. We've never said no to it. It's would have to work out some type of agreement. Obviously, where's the funding come from? And then it wouldn't be fair for the school to put in turf fields, for example, then the little leagues are used, wears it out twice as fast, and then we're not helping pay it to get it back. So there'd have to be some type of agreement where both entities are sharing and working hard to maintain and able to keep it. I'm confident in our maintenance side of things, but I don't know if the school has funding for it right now. They're not looking to do that. She was just inquiring if it was possible, what my thoughts were, and that's really all it was. It was just a lot of questions were coming to her, and so she then reached out to me, and it's always been it's very expensive, so that's the problem.
And about how many years does it last?
Well, depending on use, they'll tell you 20 years, but really you're lucky if you get good 10 years out of it. And then you still have maintenance, high maintenance areas, like depending on what type of mound, if you use the turf mound and stuff like that. So there's some things you can do to extend it, but you have to do pretty significant 3 to 5 year maintenance on it to keep it, to extend that life. So it's, yeah,
And then after the 10 or 20 years, then it's a full replacement.
you replace your car, like just replace the carpet in your house. You say, yep, that's a full.
Tell that to my husband.
That's good.
Do you want that taken out of the?
Any more questions on projects or anything?
I did have somebody ask me about the shade structure, so if that does get approved by a certain company, when would you be looking at putting that in?
So we've requested them to submit costs for the shade structures, and we would install it. So, once we got it, they're not very difficult to install, so we'd get it done this year.
I don't remember, when we talked about the shade structures, when we did the new park, upgraded Webb Park, did we ever talk about benches at Frick Park or seating as well?
We added 4 benches at Frick Park this year. So we put those in, and then after the next round of shade goes in, if the shade doesn't hit a spot of the bench, we'll add more benches at that point. Rather than try to move the benches, we'll get more benches to put in some shaded areas.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys are doing a good job.
Great.
All right, next item on the agenda is election of officers. I thought we did, but I guess we do it yearly, don't we? It's been a
Yeah, we
while.
have to do it every year. We usually do it in April, I want to say. So we're a little behind.
All right, do we start from the top, or we start from the bottom? Are we doing all of them again, or which ones are we doing?
You do the 3, the president, vice president, and the treasurer.
Treasurer or secretary?
Secretary, sorry.
Secretary, yes, we got a treasurer.
Used to be
Okay.
treasurer way back, but yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll start from the top. Do we have a nomination for president?
Does anyone want to do it? Does anybody want to do it? You would?
I motion to
Well,
keep.
somebody has
what we
nominated
have.
it.
I nominate Eric again for president of the park board.
Do we have to do a second? Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion, president, whatever, passes. All right, second one, vice president. I nominate Jake.
I second.
We have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Secretary.
Nothing.
You,
I nominate Terry to continue being secretary.
huh?
I nominate Terry to continue being secretary.
I don't do anything.
We have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Oh, my bad. Opposed? All right. Ayes have it. Motion passes. All right. Next item is there a park director?
Sorry, do have a report. So the park volunteer day, because of weather, obviously it got bumped and bumped. So we went ahead and installed the trees at Caraway Lake. It's kind of good. Sometimes things work out for a reason. So when we planted the trees and prior to planting the trees, we fixed the slope towards the water. It was very difficult to mow and maintain. So if you go out there, you see that there's a lot of dirt. We'll get grass to come up in that pretty soon, but we've planted the trees. We corrected that slope where it's easier to maintain. More people are able to walk easier around the water now and fish. So sometimes things work out for good. So we'll try again next spring for a park volunteer day, and if there's an opportunity that comes up this fall, maybe we could hit something as well, but
Yeah, that's what I was, go ahead.
I'm sorry. How many trees did you plant?
Well, we planted 2 also here to make up, we were short a couple last year, so we added a couple more here. I want to say it was 15 trees total. 17 total, 15 out there and 2 here. We didn't stick with one tree type, so that's what happened at Caraway Lake. It was all ash, and when the emerald borer came in and killed all the ash, people thought we took all the trees down when really they died and we had no choice.
Is that where the extra seedlings went?
No, these were large trees. The extra seedlings, we have, I think, just a couple left, and if they don't get spoken for soon, we'll plant them throughout the park. We got tennis camp that starts next week. Seems like we got a really good turnout for tennis camp. We got a new instructor who's very energetic and excited to do that, so hopefully that works out great. I think she was referred by the former instructor who couldn't do it anymore. Like I said earlier, lifeguard training starts next week, starts Monday. Then the pool opens May 23rd, weather permitting. And I think we've only not opened twice on that Saturday, so usually that Saturday's always been it is free, so it makes it easier for staff. We have all crew working, they shadow with the return guard. So it's, sometimes the weather's a little chilly, so it really doesn't hurt the city to have it free, but it allows us to not worry about the cash drawers and some of the operations, focus on really getting the lifeguards, new ones, trained and honed in on how the system works that they've learned in classroom to the facility. It's worked pretty well over the years, so we're continuing with that.
Well, and was it last year that we started doing the waivers? And how did
Yes,
that work?
right. So if you filled out a waiver, you've already signed the waiver, so you won't have to do it again this year. So there were some people that turned and left, and maybe those people don't need to come into our pool anyway. So for the most part, it was okay. The software doesn't really work well with the waiver on tracking, but we found a way to try to make it work. And so it takes a little bit of time on our side, but hasn't been too bad. In fact, we put a sign up and people waiting in line would just register as they wait in line, and then they were able to get the waiver. Any other questions about the pool? We did get hit with a little power surge, caused some damage to some electronics, so we've worked through that. We had a water break that happened so when the bathhouse was built, the family bathroom, behind the wall, there's about I would say 12, 14 inches to plumbing chase, which is another block wall. So you got a block wall, 14 inches block wall, and there was a line inside that broke. So we had to cut a hole in the block wall, hopefully cut the right area. We was able to get that fixed, and there was really nobody to call. You just have to do it yourself. You'd have to call. Anyway, it was a lot of work, but we got it fixed. Just crazy things. And Little League Baseball is all up and running. Little League Soccer is going to start here pretty soon. Imagine the park is busy tonight. So that's all I have for director reports.
The tennis camp. Do you guys know how many kids signed up for it last year, or you know how many potentially might have for this year?
If Dana doesn't know that, we can get that information. But
So we allow 12 kids per age. We have a younger camp and an older camp. The younger camp is age 6 to 10. Older camp is age 11 to 14. Each year, we do allow 12 total, just so it's ease of play and the activities they need to do, not having odd numbers, that kind of stuff. Each year, the camps fill, and we usually have people on a waiting list. And this year, we have the total 24 filled. The younger camp has a full 12 on the waiting list, and the older camp has, I think, 1 or 2 on a waiting list. Unfortunately, our instructor that we have this year does not have the schedule opening to do an additional camp, which we tried to get so we could accommodate those on the waiting list. So at this time, we don't have anybody that could do a second camp, but I mean, the good news is it's a very popular item and it fills very fast.
Has there been any talk of doing like anything outside of the camp for tennis at all or brought up at all? Like a little league or a little small club or anything like that?
To my knowledge, no, and I haven't heard any phone calls or anything about something like that. They tend to, I mean, it's summertime, so it's pretty busy for parents and families, but the camp seems to suffice right now, at least, on getting the interest in kids to that sport.
Cool, thank you.
I guess I should add one more thing. So there's been some shakeup at the horse arena a little bit. The Saddle Club may have split into a couple of organizations. The current Saddle Club has been changed from a not-for-profit to a different setup. And so a lot of the former members left and is starting up a new club. So, which is good. The facility needs to be used. We've got the times, we've got the slots. As long as they submit their insurance and everything else, we're fine. We still have not got the original Saddle Club's insurance, so until we get that, there won't be any events. And then so we might have 3 different horse associations using the facility as well as the tractor pool.
I did have somebody ask me about that. Is there any reasoning why, Saddle Club or whoever isn't getting, time up there or?
No.
Okay.
To tell you how it works is when they submit a request and it goes straight to the office, we keep those requests. We review, we tell them what their needs are. We have to have their insurance before any event. And Dana can answer these questions direct. She gets typically the phone calls to that. We've never restricted anybody. Mother Nature has, I mean, to be quite honest. And so a lot of times people are like, I want the facility worked up, right? So where we can practice and ride out there. Well, that's exact opposite sometimes if we think there's rain in the weekend. So if we disc the facility, say on Tuesday, and it rains Wednesday, well, it may rain out Friday, Saturday's event. So this time of year it's very difficult, and then, in here about 2 weeks, you'll see it machined quite a bit because the rain's not in the forecast.
And then is it with the no fence, is that why they can't use it for actual sanctioned rodeos anymore? I had somebody ask me that too.
I think that's gone around, but we've never had anybody officially show us in writing where that's been accurate. In fact, we've never had it requested. Like for the tractor pull, we'll put up the orange fence to accommodate their event, and that's for ticketing. And there's ways to work around it. We've not discouraged. We will do anything we can to help and make it work with the existing facility. And just so you know, even when there was the fence, it didn't surround the facility. There was all wide open to the athletic fields, and we did have someone went up there one night and open the gates and let all the cattle and horses out of the arena. So, yes, we don't hesitate. We want it used.
Sounds good.
I don't know if there's something that we can maybe add later on or talk about, but what all do we do to promote that event space to other organizations to at least try to use it?
You're talking about the arena facility?
Yeah, the arena facility at Frick.
Well, so just like anything, you have to weigh the demand versus cost. We've looked in the past, we've looked into making some massive improvements to the facility, and there's no way to come up with a cost. It's probably would shock you that it would be more than even what a partnership with the school for turf on the baseball fields would be. Grandstands, they want stalls for the horses that are shaded there's a lot to make it up to a professional quality. It's something you would have to weigh. Right now, we're struggling to have it even used to go to that. It's kind of hard to come up with the funds.
I know previously I'd had, heard people talk about it, and they had mentioned that they would help, say the Saddle Club would help build a fence and all that sort of stuff. I mean, are you opposed to that if that were to be a sticking point, why it couldn't be used for,
So
for
as far
rodeo grounds?
As far as the fencing, there comes up with the city codes so it has to fall within city codes. They'd have to come to the park board. Park board would have to make some type of recommendation to the Board of Aldermen. Board of Aldermen would obviously ultimately decide yes or no or style. It's something that would take lots of discussion and coordination, but we've not got calls to ask for a fence.
Okay.
Which organizations, if you know, have been asking for like stalls and things of that
So the-
nature?
Team Pinners, Youth Rodeo, both of which are not in existence anymore. So, and that's the other thing, is a lot of these members that say they're of Saddle Club, they'll speak on behalf of another organization that's maybe not even here anymore. And so like the Saddle Club or somebody else, they can put on a professional rodeo, but for their league itself, they don't need that extra stuff. But if you want a professional rodeo, you really need to take it to the next level. And that's quite a significant monetary investment.
And like the Odessa, do they have all of that stuff?
No.
Like on theirs?
No,
Okay, so they're putting one on and it's the same style
pretty
setup
much
as ours?
exactly the same. In fact, it's worthwhile for everybody to go visit Odessa's rodeo grounds, and we have a nicer arena.
I believe that. It's Odessa.
So I don't know, maybe that's something we can look at to see what are we doing to actually promote our space to get people to want to actually use it versus going to Odessa or something like that. I'm not sure if people just think it's just there just to be there, or we're just not highlighted enough or putting out there
don't-
enough. I don't know.
So there's another elephant in the room here that I just want to share with you. There's a lot of people in the city limits of Oak Grove that don't have anything to do with horses, right? And so it makes it very difficult on our end when, say, someone from Odessa calls, and really Saddle Club's being ran from a gentleman out of Smithville, Missouri, is calling about our arena, right? So that's something that you guys should always be aware of too, right? That citizens of Oak Grove are trying to serve as well as the surrounding area. Well, how far do you go out the surrounding area before you, because there's only so many dollars, you can go so many places.
Well, and I think when we had the discussion with all the horse people, 2 or 3 years ago, there was a big turnout, but I didn't think there was very much follow through on
There
their
wasn't,
part.
there wasn't any follow through.
So, I mean, they're aware that we have it and that it's up for use, so I don't know what other kind of advertisement to them that we would need to.
We're very supportive. We try to carry the same talk to whether it's the horse arena, whether it's baseball, soccer, football. We try to help everybody we can as much as we can in any way that's within our parameters. We don't promote one over the other. We try to promote all the same. We're not doing anything different with the horse associations. We don't create special insurance for them. The state has done that. So it's all, we just do everything we can to help them. And then the other thing to remember on the horse arena is your rodeo people want different dirt from your barrel racers. They want different dirt from the tractor pullers. And so it's a never-ending battle about the dirt on top of the facility itself. And so short of us putting a staff member there, which we haven't done, we do help with the tractor pull because it's really pretty much everybody from Oak Grove is going to that event, and there's restrooms issues, there's trash, you can imagine. We help more with that event than any of the others just because of the size.
I still think it would be something good to look at, possibly, especially since the Saddle Club is split up into a couple of different entities, and just engage or inquire or something.
I'm thinking the new entities are going to get it going again, and Dana could speak to this direct. They were shocked how easy it was for them to work with us to form a new league to get it going. So they were scared to make the phone call because there's people out there that talk on our behalf without even making the phone call, and people won't make the phone call. But once they do, they realize we don't understand why that happens, but it does. And then they found out that, that's it, that's all I got to do. And we provide information to help them. And then now it's forming, so.
So we can't talk about it? Because all I'm asking is just to have a discussion about how people can get involved in using that or so. If there's something that they need to go through, or like, what do we actually do to put out there about that? Just like a small discussion about anything like that.
I'm sorry, Eric. I didn't, I thought I was basically saying that I think with the new leagues, that's going to spark more interest. You're going to see more activity. You're going to see more communication about the horse arenas. The new groups seem excited, which they were also members of the old group, but they're working hard to get it going, and we will help them. And if you think of something directly that you would like us to post or something like that, we're more than happy to do it.
All right, I'll think about it. All right, is that the whole report?
I believe that's everything.
Perfect. Do we have a liaison report? Nope. Do any board members have a report? I do have one. The Oak Grove Lions Club reached out to me tonight. David Casto was asking if we wanted to go talk to them about the Parks Department. Some of the things they're asking for is like what new projects we're working on, the history of the Parks Department, how could the Lions Club help in any projects, and just invited us out to one of their meetings if we could attend or something. Is that something that you would be okay with us doing?
Absolutely,
Or
sure.
you guys doing on the behalf, or?
It's completely, if nobody wants to go and you guys like me to go, I'd be more than happy to go. If you want to go, you're more than welcome to go, and then come back and share the information to the park board, and we discuss, and as staff, we will facilitate whatever we can and guide you the best we can. So if you go, we'll work through it. If we go, I'll come back and tell you the information, then you'll share the information back, and I'd be doing the same thing either way. So anything anybody wants to do to help forward our parks, I'm excited for, so.
All right, perfect. Perfect, thank you. All right,
Oh, that Girl Scout project, did that ever get going? Or
Yes, that's complete. Yeah.
just-
Yep.
perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, if there's nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn? Wait, hold on. Go ahead.
Eric, would you introduce Herbert Jones as our new park board member? Or-
Okay, we have a new park board member here. His name is Herbert Jones.
He's just introducing you.
I believe one of our former members,
Shelby. Fletchell.
Shelby
Fletchall.
Fletchall, resigned. So we got Herbert. Herbert, do you want to say a couple words or anything like that?
Do you want to say anything?
No, I just, I got some questions on all this stuff.
You want to discuss it now?
Yeah,
Okay, bring it up.
well, I'd like to know where the rest of them come from.
You got to talk to lean that mic right there.
These, on this planning and everything.
Yes.
Where'd all these estimates come from?
So that's the budgetary item that was presented to the Board of Aldermen at the budget workshop.
You've actually had,
Prior meetings, yes. And this was approved by the,
24 pool loungers, that's a lot of money there,
well,
24 pool loungers.
yes, right.
Is that cost of people carrying them in and putting them up, or?
No, those are ones that stay stationary at the pool, and
I've
they,
never even been out there.
oh, okay. So we have pool loungers there, and that's the cost, roughly the cost of the pool
Just,
lounge.
I am a homeowner here, so everything that's on here, me, just like people of Oak Grove, it affects them, it affects me.
Sure. So a pool lounger isn't necessarily the same as what you would go buy at Walmart or even Sam's. Sam's is close, but it's not the commercial quality. We don't buy the high-end commercial quality. We buy the budgetary commercial quality of the pools. And they tend to last without wind damage, usually a good 5 years before they're replaced.
$500 a lounger.
It's quite a bit of money. That's why you'll go out there and you'll see several of them faded, because we're not replacing them until they have to. And so it's the number one requested
A
thing.
little bit
is-
out there to me. I'm just being honest,
Just a-
with everybody.
Just to help them out here, Herbert, a lot of these items and majority of these items on here, we previously have discussed and previously have suggested or approved for these items to be done. Once we do that and we get that, it generally goes to our board of aldermen, and then they give a motion or so to approve those items and move on. The only reason why we're really even having this discussion is because when they reached out to us, asked about what we want to talk in the park board meeting, I suggested that we look at the budget, what we all approved so far for throughout the year, so we can just have a refresher about that. So pretty much everything on here is it's already been approved and is already done. It's just sometimes that's just the cost of items to do things. That's why we go through these processes.
I think you do a good job of having different people bid or look into cost. They don't.
Well, that's what I mean. They have copies of all these bids to where we
Herbert.
could look at them.
Herbert, so this attached document right here, this is budgeted in for this year.
I'm talking about the companies who gave
Right,
the
so
bid.
this is budgeted in for this year, so as Chairman
It's
Mitchell.
already budgeted?
Yep, as Chairman Mitchell said, this has already been approved and not up for discussion because it was approved through the Park Board and through Board of Aldermen and Women. The Park Department does an outstanding job of bringing these items to the Park Board, which then advises whether the Board of Aldermen and Women approve the final budget. So as Scott said, just to catch you up, I mean, great questions though, everyone wants to know these things, that in October, then Scott will have open discussion for all of you to discuss next year's 2026-27 budget of approved items. And so during that time, because all of these came up last year, they're approved, and because of the budgeting, these all will take place. And these are throughout several departments. Does that help?
Yeah, I guess.
And
I
then
mean,
I would like to add one,
it's already approved. There ain't much that my complaining can do,
Mr. Jones, I'd like to.
right?
Well, just to add a little more to it, once it's approved, we then have to go through a procurement process, which we have to follow with our ordinances with the city as well as the state and federal. And so if, based on a certain amount of money, it requires 3 quotes or sealed bid or final approval by I'm authorized up to a certain dollar amount, then it goes up from there to the city administrator, and the mayor has emergency spending up to a certain amount, and then the Board of Aldermen has final decision on the funding, on the
You know,
spending.
it's like they was talking about outward, about the rodeo deal, you know, some of them, I have a relative that actually, she has won 3 times at the American Royal. They set up, like Tipton, Missouri, places like that, they actually, them sanctioned events, actually pump money into the city. I mean, the organization itself, whatever you need, they'll help with the funding of doing that.
Yeah, we've tracked as best we can. It's very
I
difficult.
mean, have they ever told you what it would take to make that to where you could have sanctioned events?
We've
for the
had,
rodeo?
that facility has had sanctioned events. So I want that to be clear. Our facility is not behind Tipton, Missouri. I can promise you that. I drive through Tipton ever so often. We're not behind Tipton. This different situation is that we're lacking on some volunteers to get that organization to where they want it to be. That is not the fault of the city. That is the fault of the demand of the city for the horse associations. And what I was doing in my report today was telling you that the horse associations appear to be coming back, and interest in the horse events should be increasing, which allows Frick Park to be used more, which I would then see the next step is they'll be asking for some sanctioned events.
I mean, if we could get some rodeos going here, sanctioned events, that would be a great deal.
Right, and we've never been opposed to doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
We can't do that if we
I
don't
mean,
have
we
an
do the monster
organization that
truck
is solid.
pulls there, and
Well,
all
and I-
that, so.
I just want to be very clear that we have things in place to help any league with any sanctioned event they want to do. We don't set if they want to charge gate, we tell them what they have to do. If they want to charge gate, there is a percentage they pay back to the city for charging a gate, but it's just a percentage. There's nothing up front they have to pay. There's no red tape. It's if you're an organization that's already in our park system and you're able to put on any sanctioned event you want to do, unsanctioned event you want to do, and so we're happy to work with them on that. It's been the demand of our area that has not facilitated that arena being used more, and I was trying to say that we see increased interest in the arena and using it more. So I would imagine, hopefully, if things go well, within a year or two, you might see some sanctioned events out there for the horse associations.
What about for like the bull riding or something like that?
So the bull riding carries special insurance, which they'll provide us and all that kind of stuff if they want to do it. That we've had bull riding out there. It's never been an issue.
Do they have any like events for future farmers of America?
I can't speak for them.
Are they even involved in our schools here in Oak Grove?
For the first time,
They are?
for the first
Maybe-
time,
maybe
yes.
Yeah,
that's
how about
that-
let's just do this for a second, because
Shoot.
we're kind of moved past that part, and I just don't want us to go off the rails here, you know? Like I said earlier, I think it might be a good idea in one of our next meetings to put in a section just to give us a rundown of everything like that, so we can catch him up to speed and give us a refresher.
I think sometimes, Herbert, the best thing, Mr. Jones, the best thing to do is to reach out to myself, my cell phone, ask me anything you want to ask me. You can call the office, ask anything you want. If you want me to drive you around, I'll be happy to take you around anytime you want, talk about the parks. You can ask any question you want. I've been here a long time. I'll answer you anything and tell you straight up the truth. I wouldn't be here a long time if I didn't tell the truth, because that's very important. So
I appreciate that suggestion, Scott, but I still think it'd be a good thing to have just a small conversation about it so we can have it on the record, everybody can hear it, because obviously there's people that are asking multiple people on this board these questions that they're not very educated and aware about. Just asking if it's possible, just let's have that
Absolutely.
conversation and then,
anything that you have a question, give us a heads up too, so we can put it on the agenda and we can discuss it at the meeting if you wish. If you
Yes.
wish to talk about us and just get an answer, more than welcome to do that. But if you want it on the agenda, please give us a heads up so we can put it on the agenda so everybody knows what the question's gonna be and we all can have answers.
yep, and that's what I'm asking right now, if we can possibly put it on the agenda for one of our upcoming meetings. After the farmer's market thing, I think after.
As long as we know what we're putting on the agenda ahead of time, we're happy to put anything on there.
All right, thank you. All right.
You want something specific.
Yes, I would like for us to give us the rundown of how people can utilize the horse arena, if there's any precautions or anything that need to be talked about or that are known about, who we are trying to target to use the horse arena, what
I guess these,
clubs we have around here that could be useful for that, so we can justify why we still have the horse arena, and just take it from there. I mean, it's not a long conversation. It's no different than you just giving us a report, an update, a rundown, and simple like that,
okay.
if possible. And I think it'd be best to have it after we get done talking about the farmer's market.
Sure. There's not a lot of information on our side from there, but we'll give you everything we have, so.
I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Anything else, anybody?
Good?
All right, perfect. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a first. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a first and a second adjourn. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Who collects the pins?
Date right there. Turned in 2 pins?